Die Erbärmlichkeit der politischen Elite in der NDC ist schier unfassbar. Unverbesserlich. The wretchedness of the political elite in the NDC is beyond the pale. They are irredeemable. I want you to take a look at this video and you will understand what I'm talking about. Because this matches and parallels the level of propaganda that was propagated from 79 to 83 in Grenada. So when I tell you, and I refer to these people as socialist Marxists, charlatans, and imposters, that, my fellow Grenadians, is not an exaggeration. You will see what I'm talking about. How deviously vicious these people truly are. After seeing this entire video, if your blood don't run cold and you don't realize that you are dealing with some very dangerous people, then it means that you are asleep.
What those folks had yesterday, and I don't want to call them green donkey because I don't operate that way. I believe that, Grenadians should be viewed differently. I would not call the folks yesterday green donkey.
We saw a lot of green donkey for the length and breadth of Grenada, Carriacou and Piniban. For 23 years, we saw green donkeys in Grenada.
When I became leader of this party in 1989, it was chaos. As a senior member of the party said then, I see Keith grow up in patch pants and barefoot and he want to be prime minister. That and a green donkey he will never see.
And let's pause here a little bit, because I want you to understand what Dr. Keith Mitchell said. He talked about senior members in the party when he became part of NNP, who said to him that they see him grow up in some very difficult circumstances. And if he think he's going to come into this party and become some sort of leader of Grenada, then he will never see this happen. And he used the term that they use, which they said that he will never see that on a green donkey. And we all use that expression all the time to try to describe through imagery, okay, of a green donkey, because we all know green donkeys don't exist. So these people are using the image of a green donkey to basically say to Dr. Keith Mitchell that it's nearly impossible for you to become a leader of Grenada. Okay? This is what the expression means. And you people are smart people. You've heard that expression before. We all use the expression. I am sure you ladies understand the expression. For example, there may be a guy who is interested in you, but you're heck no interested in him. You may say to your friend, that will never happen. Not on a green donkey. So again, I will slowly explain to you what a metaphor is. It's a figure of speech that we use all the time. Now take a look. Dr. Mitchell eventually succeeded and became prime minister for 23 years. So listen what he says.
Well, we saw a lot of green donkey for the length and breadth of Grenada, Carriacou and Piniban for 23 years.
So while the expression of not on a green donkey was used to express how difficult it would have been for Dr. Keith Mitchell, starting off as a young politician, to become Prime Minister of Grenada, right? And I am positively sure that when your beloved idol, Deacon Mitchell, parachuted into the NDC, that someone or the elders, I don't know, probably Joan Purcell, probably Tillman Thomas, or some other elder within the NDC must have said to Deacon Mitchell, if you think that you are going to beat the NNP, that won't happen, not on a green donkey. That was to express how difficult it would have been beating a party that gave you 15-0 the last term. So I am sure that the NDC elite is quite familiar with the expression of a green donkey. It could have even been a yellow donkey. And then Dr. Mitchell goes on to use the same imagery that said, look, I succeeded. I made it. I became prime minister for 23 years. So he's basically saying, yes, that period of success of 23 years of being prime minister is like having seen a green donkey. That is the metaphorical expression that the gentleman was using. Now, I would not have got involved in this because, of course, you know, at the GSDP, we have our own agenda, which is to ensure that our candidate, Mr. Nicholas Macmillan of the St. George Northeast, gets selected. But I was forced to respond. But I understood what was done by these NDC podcast hitters was downright despicable. Okay? Was downright a devious move. So I felt compelled to come and add some clarity to the situation. And I don't want Grenadians to be deceived by such viciousness. But I wasn't surprised when I saw the people who were promoting it. Okay, they're podcast hitters. It actually comes from some of the most vile people. I mean, these are the same people that referred to NNP supporters as goons, as zygotes. So that individual was happy to, in a very twisted, wicked way, use what Dr. Keith Mitchell said to refer to NNP followers as green donkeys. This again tells you about the level of irredeemable, reprehensible level of thought process that goes through the mind of that individual. So I'm not surprised that they will relish in trying to sneakily refer to or call fellow Grenadians, NNP followers, green donkeys. That was his opportunity. And he took it. So he took a snippet of what Dr. Keith Mitchell said to relish in the moment, to deceitfully call fellow Grenadians and followers of the NNP green donkeys. That was his aim. That was the gentleman's aim. That was the evil, despicable intent of this vile gentleman, okay, who used the opportunity of what Dr. Mitchell said to refer to fellow Grenadians, okay, as green donkeys. Additionally, take a look at this other devious podcaster who's obviously also singing for his supper.
Welcome to Unscripted. So welcome to a zone of common sense, knowledge, and reason.
Whoa, slow down, cowboy. Common sense, knowledge, and reasoning? Well, not on your podcast. You've got to be kidding me. Bro, you're a propagandist outfit. Everything you say is grounded in garbage and emotion.
Today I want to begin with a video.
And here it is. Take a listen to what this guy is saying, okay? This guy basically is telling you guys, okay, he's telling his audience what his plans were. This guy's telling his audience what his plans were, and they didn't even get it. And he went on to implement his plans right in front of their eyes, and they didn't understand that this guy was actually bamboozling them. But I'm not surprised. These are the same individuals who got bamboozled in 2022, okay, and elected their idol.
So there's a lot of psychology in the politics, and this is part of the broader psychological warfare.
So this is what this guy's saying. This guy's saying psychological warfare that he, as a podcast hitter, is playing on his audience. He's telling them what he's going to do. And these are the strategic ninjas that are going to protect Grenada? Man, it's no surprise that Grenada offered up itself under this administration to be an interlocutor between high-stakes geopolitical games between the US and Venezuela. So surprised, because these are the strategic thinkers. These are the grand intellect that are actually talking to the NDC supporters. My God, these people lead you guys astray.
And the aim is to manipulate people.
And there it is. The guy is telling you what he's going to do to you. This is what he's telling the NDC followers. You know? He's telling them the aim is to manipulate them. And you will see what I'm talking about, because that is exactly what he did with the snippet of video that was taken when Dr. Keith Mitchell was speaking. That's exactly what he did. He used a snippet to manipulate the NDC followers, and they swallowed this jizz and drank up that Kool-Aid. Oh boy, they were asking for more.
The aim is to twist minds, so pay attention.
Now, of course, guy, we understand that that is your aim given to you by your overlords. To twist minds, okay? To misrepresent the truth. That is why you guys use a snippet of a video, okay? And took it and twisted it to mislead your followers.
So he's talking about green donkeys. Now, green donkeys are basically animals that are not trained, animals that are not smart. So if you refer to someone as a green donkey, you are saying that they are incompetent. You are saying that they are stupid.
You see this guy? Never close your eye around this guy. This is a deceptor of deceptors. This, I can only imagine what this gentleman has engaged in. This guy, of course, there are people who use expression like donkey in a literal sense. They say, boy, you the old donkey boy, you ain't smart. Dr. Mitchell didn't refer to anyone as a donkey. He used the expression of not on a green donkey to express how difficult his aspirations of becoming Prime Minister of Grenada was. That was what the expression was used for. And then he said, look, for 23 years he was Prime Minister, and used the expression again that we did see green donkeys for 23 years, which meant, look, that he succeeded in becoming Prime Minister, even though the people before him doubted him. So the act of succeeding as becoming Prime Minister for 23 years related to as if it was like seeing a green donkey. The success came through so forcefully that it was like seeing a green donkey. So if what you said, and I doubt it is, was truly what you interpreted from a metaphorical use of the expression not on a green donkey, then it's just sad. It is heartbreaking and sad if you are the people educating the masses of NDC followers. If that's what you gathered from that, boy, it's heartbreaking. I am sorry for my country. I am sorry for my country if that is what you gathered from that. But I don't believe so. I believe you relish in the opportunity to call NNP supporters green donkey. Y'all think y'all slick. All of you guys think you're slick. So you were glad for the opportunity to call fellow Grenadians green donkey. You guys are wickedly deceptive.
No, I would never say that for 23 years Grenada was run by green donkeys.
But that is exactly what you're doing. You have deceptively, sneakily twisted and misrepresented the words of Dr. Keith Mitchell to deceitfully call fellow Grenadians, members of NNP, green donkey. That is exactly what you've done. And in some respects, it takes a special type of character, okay? It takes a special type of person to actually deceive their own followers in their own camp, the NDC camp, and to turn around and viciously call people in the other camp, the NNP camp, green donkeys. You know exactly what you're doing. You could never have an iota of love for Grenada. You are a dangerous person. And I can only imagine you're probably doing it for pennies on the dollar.
Yes, people ran Grenada. I may not agree with their ideology, but they have tried their best. They may not have been very good at what they were doing, but they were Grenadians who offered themselves to serve. And I think that describing them as green donkeys,
and that right there shows this man's true character. This man says all of this with a straight face. This gentleman is a dangerous gentleman. I am telling you, this gentleman could never have love for Grenadians. For him to do that to his own people, in his own camp, and you are the one that are calling your Opps green donkeys. Okay? And in some respects, you bamboozle. You wickedly use your followers as pawns in what you're trying to achieve. What you did, Roby, is unconscionable.
whether it's satire, whether it's sarcastic, whether it's a joke or some kind of playful statement, I think that this is reckless.
And here this gentleman goes again. He basically tells you exactly what he's doing. So there's no big set of strategy involved in this. And he says, oh, well, this is not satire, this is not sarcastic, or this is not a joke. You got that straight. It's not a joke. But yes, you are the one using satire, and you are the one being sarcastic, because you are the one using irony, which is to express the opposite of what Dr. Keith Mitchell said. And of course, you're using sarcasm to express that opposite, to insult fellow Grenadians and followers of the NNP. You think you're slick. But who all you think all is, boy? Who all you think all you're playing with? All you think all you're smarter than everybody else? Who's all you?
I think that this is not good for younger population. This is not good for the youths. So I think that we have to raise the bar.
And of course, what you say was reckless. And of course, it's not good for younger people. Because if that is your interpretation skills of what somebody said, and this is what you're feeding to the youth of Grenada, God help them. If that is what you're feeding, and is that what you gathered from what Dr. Keith Mitchell said in that convention, if you truly, let's assume that you're not being slick, but if that's what you gathered, and then the people that you're selling this to, they might think that that is actually what you gathered. And guess what? And guess what? You're goddamn right. And that would not be good for young people. It would be horrible comprehension. Again, you're also right. We got to raise the bar. If you guys are the ninjas that is involved with this current administration, we're in trouble. We're in serious trouble. You guys are the ninjas? We're in trouble. Deep, deep trouble. If that is the level of grand intellect that is feeding the flock of NDC followers, help us. Please help us. Please help us. Please help Grenada. You know what's also sad though? That you have grown people in the society that see what you guys doing and they'll sit back there and do nothing. Grown, educated people. I mean, the people I grew up with was a bunch of intellects. And they sit back and let you people get away with this. That is what rots Grenada. In diesem Sinne, guten Abend.